Well, hello again. In this particular video, I'm going to have a look at how to use the ANZ Analyser spreadsheet with specific sets of data. As an example, we'll look at filtering the data down to just metropolitan Saturday racing, which is the highest grade of racing in Australia, generally, apart from Melbourne Cups on Tuesdays. But otherwise, the Saturday Metro races are usually the highest grade of racing, so you may very well want to just look at those races. So we'll have a look at cutting it down to just that. If you didn't see the previous video, which covered how to sanitize the data before you import it, you may want to look at that video as well, but I do cover some of that again in this video because it is part of the import process. The question that I was asked using the spreadsheet to find only runners related to certain types of meetings. Now, the example that tended to be cited was metropolitan Saturday meetings, which higher grade races, I understand why people would be interested in that. So we've got here, for example, data from 20 days worth of June, and if I have a quick look at the calendar, I'll just do that off screen. So for June, the Saturdays, there have been 2 Saturdays so far there, or 3 actually, the 1st, the 8th and the 15th. So we'll work with those 3. But first, let's make a copy of our Analyzer spreadsheet. Now you can make as many copies of this as you want, which is great. You can use it, the good thing about that is you can use it to make various different types of strategies. So I'm going to copy that there. Go this one here is now my copy, so I'm going to change this one to, I'm going to call this one Analyze, spell Analyzer properly, Saturday Metro. Alright, so there we go, Analyzer Saturday Metro. So first thing I want to do, once I've opened this one, because it's got all of that data from months and months and months, I want to clear it, get rid of all of that data out of it, which is perfectly fine to do because I've still got that other spreadsheet there, my main historical data spreadsheet, which will still have it, just in the Saturday Metro version of it. I'm going to get rid of it. Now, because I haven't opened this particular copy of the spreadsheet before, Excel wants me to enable the macros, which I will do. And then I'm going to go into main. Just before I do that, show you all runners here. You can see data going back to the start of February. So go back to main. Scary button here, clear data. Am I sure I want to clear all existing data? Yep. Always nice to make a copy of the spreadsheet before you do that. Save yourself some time re-importing data if it comes to it. And that should be clear. Indeed it is, so there we go. All of that data is gone. It hasn't bothered updating here. But if I try and pull up if I try and pull up a strategy, it's going to tell me, yeah, there's nothing for me to analyze, which is fine. And it's just going to update it to the last time it saw this one, which is fine. You can see the graph is the old version of the graph. It hasn't bothered to update it because there's no data to update it with, but you can see here in the selections, there were no selections. Alright, so that is good. So let's just close this again for a moment. So we said the 1st, the 8th and the 15th of June were Saturdays. So let's go through this process again. There's an extra step that we need to do if we're if we're cutting it back to just the Metro meetings. So go to here. So I'll go to historic data. Go back into June. Open the 1st. Okay, so there's the first. This is one reason why I keep all of these raw download files. It's useful to have them there, so I have options. I can analyze them various different ways. I'm just waiting for the 8s to open there. Okay, so yep. So we'll do this again. We'll paste all of this in here under the data from the first. Once again, get rid of that header row. And the 15th was the... I'm missing a Saturday. I am. The 22nd was a Saturday. But of course, I've only downloaded data through the 20th. So yes. So yes, I do. I am missing yesterday, the 22nd, but I've only downloaded through to the 20th. So that's fine. So here we go. I've got the Saturdays. I'm just going to save this now as let's save this as Saturday Metro. Let's just save it as the Saturday Metros in June of 2024. Right. So I'm going to do basically the same process when it starts. There we go. So yeah, we're going to do the same process here. We'll data sort by back odds, by lay odds, by date, track, and saddle number. Why saddle number? I think it just looks neater having the horses in order in each race. Makes it a little bit easier if you are looking at the data on its own. Just a little bit easier to see what's going on. Sort anything that looks like a number as a number. Okay. And so then we're going to just get rid of anything here that's the zeros. Quite a few for 3 days worth, but I think one of those days was quite badly affected by weather, so they did end up abandoning some of those meetings. Alright, so then we're going to sort again just by date, track, saddle number. Right. And in the winner column, once again, find dash by columns. Okay, we found, looks like a little bit here. So we're looking at, what's this? This is, I'm just going to expand this out a bit. Just shrink some of these in so I can see what I'm looking at a bit more easily. That's better, I can see that a bit better now. So we've got this here, looks like Bow Desert Race 3. Bow Desert Race 3 on January 1. Nothing listed at all there. That one is probably abandoned. So let's go to Bow Desert for the 1st of January. Good thing about RaceNet, for its results, it goes back a really long time, many months. I originally tried using the TAB website for it, and it only goes back maybe a month at most. Bow Desert, let's see, Rose Hill had a lot of abandoned races there. Bow Desert Race 3, goodness, I get the mouse over there, Race 3 abandoned. Quite simple. So Bow Desert Race 3 was abandoned that day, so we'll get rid of that. Alright, we'll continue the search. Okay, so here we've got harness race in Bunbury, what looks like Bunbury race 7. Bunbury race 7, June 1. Right, so the harness racing website, June 1, Bunbury. And we can see there right at the top, race 7, race abandoned. So we can get rid of that one as well. Simple enough process. I'm going to go through this. Now, it just occurred to me I'm probably actually doing more than I need to here, because if you're doing this for just Saturday Metro, well, you don't actually care about Bunbury race 7, do you? Because it's not a Metro meeting, especially being harness. So you could go through this process for the whole spreadsheet if you wanted to, if you're looking for more than just Metro meetings. But if you're not, then, well, this is kind of a waste of time doing it this way. So what we're going to do instead, we're going to filter this by track. So let's select everything there, and let's just go through here and see which races, which meetings are of interest. So Belmont is a Metro track, Metro Perth, so we want Belmont. Now, it's worth noting that sometimes your Metro meeting will not necessarily be in a Metro area, so it'll be up to your selection criteria as to whether you want that. Sometimes you might get a regional being the main Saturday meeting. In this case, I do think Bendigo was a major meeting on one of those days, so I'll include Bendigo for the moment. We can pull it out later if necessary. We know Broom's not one of them, Bunbury's not, Cairns. I live in Canberra, but it's not a major metro, despite being the capital city of the country. It's not a major metro. So Caulfield, Darwin, again a capital city that you wouldn't really call a major metro meeting. Do get some interesting results at Darwin, but it's certainly not a major metropolitan one. Flemington. Morphettville. Murray Bridge was probably a major metro for one of these days. Narrandera won't have been. Newcastle probably not. Northern probably not. New Zealand races at Otaki and Pukekohe. Let's see, Randwick. Obviously Randwick's a major metro. Rose Hill. Sandown. Not Swan Hill, not Te Rapa, not Toowoomba. Townsville, Trentham, Wanganui, Werribee. Right, we're done. So that's everything. So that's cut us down to just those major metros. So I'm just going to continue doing what I was doing here. And we're done. There's actually no more non-runners to be concerned about in that. So I'm going to copy everything I've got there. Make a new sheet here and copy that in. And then we end up with just the races we want. Okay, so we'll get rid of the old sheet. And we'll rename this one All Runners. It's important this is called All Runners, otherwise I don't think it imports properly into the Analyser spreadsheet. And there we go. We've now got a spreadsheet that is only Saturday Metro. So we'll save that. Right, we'll close that one. Actually, we can close all of these. Yep. Alright, now we'll go to our Saturday Metro Analyser spreadsheet. Okay, and then back to our main tab. And we can import that data. Now remember, at the moment this is an empty spreadsheet. There's nothing in here. So we will import that one that we just created, which I saved as Saturday Metro. 1,729 records. Let's import that. Give it a moment to import. And then, okay, so you'll get this message if the strategy that it's going to show you, which is usually strategy 1, if the data you've imported doesn't actually include anything that covers that strategy. That's fine, it's still imported fine. Let's see, successful update. So here we are, so strategy 1 is blank, that's fine. Let's just pull up a strategy that will have data. Strategy 16, which I think actually had a pretty poor day on the 1st of January. Okay, not too bad overall. Down 2 days, but you can see here it's now only got data from the 1st of January, the 8th of January, and if we look, they're both Metro meetings, so Belmont there. To have a look at strategy 14, should have a little bit more data in it. And there you go, you can see Saturday Metros for that particular strategy. Bad day on the 1st of January, decent day on the 8th, okay day on the 5th. Overall, still in profit, but anyway. So that's how I'd go about it if you wanted to just do a particular subset of data, in this case just the Saturday Metro meetings. It's much easier to filter the data from in the imports than it is to do with the strategy settings here. Now, you do have the option in the strategy settings here to say that you want to look at just a particular country or maybe just a particular track. You can do that, but if you're looking at lots of tracks, in the case of Saturday Metro, you're looking at quite a few tracks. This does an OR search on it, so if you were to put in a setting that say I want Flemington and Rose Hill, we are actually going to get Flemington or Rose Hill, and the system is going to, if let's say you do Flemington on one line, Rose Hill on another line, it's going to look at that, it's going to filter down to just Flemington first, and it's going to filter out anything that's not Rose Hill. Well, follow the logic of that. Of all of my races, which ones are Flemington? I've got those. Then of what's left, which of those are Rose Hill? Well, none of them. So it's much easier to sort in the data that you're importing, and then set up your strategies for that. So that's Saturday Metro. You could use that, of course, to cover other specific variants. If you maybe wanted, I don't know, weeknight harness racing, or maybe just Saturday night harness racing, or just races at Wagga. It would certainly be, or Wagga Wagga, I suppose, to give it its full name. But if you just wanted those races, then you would probably want to download the full day and then just filter it down to just Wagga rather than having to download each race at Wagga individually. Up to you, I suppose, but that's certainly how I'd do it. In the next video, we'll have a look at how to use the data that you download ahead of the day to find selections, and the horse of the day system that the Analyzer spreadsheet has.